Hello there, folks, and welcome to the stream. My name is Mike D'Angelo, aka That Tellest Guy. We are back today looking at the Pirate Cove. I think we're probably going to wrap it up in a couple of minutes. I am feeling a little under the weather today, which is part of the reason that I'm late. And I think we'll probably try and keep it to like a tight 25 minutes today, and end regular time at around 7:30. We are going to look at a couple of changes that I made to the Pirate Cove. Specifically, we already had, like all this green underwater, content and everything. I added a couple of things in here after the stream yesterday. We've got just kind of like some driftwood and things, and I figured we could have, let's make an adjustment real quick. I feel like this amulet isn't as bright as I would like it. So try and contrast it a little. Maybe do like a light or something in there. Make it pop a little bit. So I figured like the seagulls are like taking pieces of the driftwood and stuff like that, and they're bringing stuff over here for their nest. Let's see if I can mess with the opacity. Mess with the brightness maybe a little bit. Couple more little shiny spots over there so that maybe people can see it. So we've got that. We already had, and I also, anytime you get some seagulls, you got to put some bird poop splatters. So we got some bird poop splatters. We already had the octopus guarding the treasure chest over here, so I didn't change anything there. I did kind of put some rocks, over here. You'll notice that there's tiny little holes in these rocks over here, and there's a reason for that. We'll show you in a second. So you figure our 4 points of interest are, the octopus underneath the water over here with the treasure chest. We've got, the rocks here with the holes in them, the nest over here, and then this underwater cave. Not to mention, the big cave that leads north here. What I figured we would do is, like when you're thinking about like water-based stuff, you're usually getting like sirens and stuff like that, mermaids. I thought it would be fun to have it so that these holes in these rocks are kind of giving the illusion that they're sirens. As like the wind blows in this area, these holes in the rocks that have been just kind of pounded by the water throughout the years, they end up making a strange sound. So noticing that the water is kind of over the rocks, so we're going to scooch that aside. Let me see, can I scooch that back a little bit too? Anyway, I figured what we could do is add some fog, some mist that's over these rocks, and then some greater fog that we can put in as well. It kind of covers the entire area without, making things too obscure, because we don't want to make the work that we did disappear, but I think the rock fog itself also needs to be a little less. But Rihanna, are you listening by any chance? Yes, I hear her say. Do you think that everything looks good, or would you tweak anything? All right, she says it's good. So we had a little bit of a power outage today, so I don't know if this is going to work, but let's give it a try. All right, can you still hear me, Rihanna? Yes. All right, so this map is done. we're going to real quick. Also, we'll go to our sponsor. It's the last time that we're running this sponsor, so um, we'll give them one last hurrah, and we'll be back after this is saved. And now, a word from our sponsors. The Old Aunt Mythopia is sure to be unlike anything you have ever read or experienced before. Author No Originality intends for it to be something that is interpreted differently by each person who flips through its pages. Is it a new age set of fables to rival Aesop? Perhaps it's just a series of Easter eggs for those who like gaming culture. Or maybe it is a recommendation on how to live one's life. While the book itself is full of possibilities and open to interpretation, one thing isn't: the passion with which No Originality built out the project. A team of great artists came together to make the Old Aunt Mythopia, and it shows. It takes a tremendous amount of talent to manage talent, and to bring a vision to life, and No Originality pulled it off wonderfully. Check out our promo for the Old Aunt Mythopia, an incomplete trilogy, on the Tellest website. All right, so I figured we're trying to be a little bit low key today, so we're just going to look at some of our other partner maps that are coming, and then maybe over the weekend I'll work on the ruins map that I was working on before. But this is I had been trying to work on a mangrove like swamp for I guess like over a year at this point. I could never like figure out a way to make it look right. And our partner Arturo from Nerdy Maps, he did a wonderful job with this. I'll probably do the same thing that I've been doing all over the place, and like do maybe like a custom layers version of this, just to make things pop a little bit more, perhaps. But we'll have to play with it. I don't know, because the mangrove swamp would be kind of shallow. It might not work the right way. But anyway, so this is Brianna's nightmare fuel. She has dreams about alligators apparently. This was like the brought to life version of her nightmares, and it was not planned. It was just she saw it and went ah. So good times. So there's a decent amount of stuff going on. You know, like there's bodies all over the place. There's carnivorous plants. There's little poison dart frogs. Obviously, lots of alligators. This is definitely one of those maps that we're going to expand on. Like this is going to end up being its own zone. I'm really pleased with it, and you can see, you know, there's tons of spots that could be points of interest for us. So I'm real excited for what we can do here. I'm not going to make any huge changes right now. We're just kind of looking, but so we had that one, and we have this one, which is another Arturo map for us. I need to get both of these, you know, varianted up so that we can put these on Drive-Thru-RPG. But we technically already have maps planned out for Drive-Thru-RPG for the next 2 weeks as well. 3 maps per week. So we had our festival maps are all put together, and they're going up now. So there we go. So I had told Arturo that I wanted kind of like a feeling like in Indiana Jones, where they went to the ruins of Petra in Last Crusade. I wanted something like that felt a little bit more jungle-like. So he ended up doing this, and I really like. I feel like it just fits the vibe that I was going for 100%. So this gives us an opportunity to build like an entire dungeon out, and this is just like the outdoor area for it. So just as always, he's, you know, got a lot of stuff that you can find if you've got a discerning eye. So we've got, you know, someone with some tools that was up here. We got some alternate entrances into this temple. Some little sprinklers from the jungle. These are coming down from up here. That could be like another small cave that you could like crawl into or whatever. Bananas. Some wells and stuff. I always have to be like extra intent on like looking at what he throws in here, because you'll get like a Titan hand that you didn't know about, and it's one of those really cool things that you get to spot. Anyway, let's keep it going. So some of you might remember I was working on a map in the jungle area that just I didn't feel like I was doing an appropriate job with it, so I asked Matt if he wanted to try and play with it. So we cloned this out to him, and he ended up making a version of it that's, we might have to tweak it a little bit because so much of it feels like it doesn't fit the zone that we already have, but I think that there's like a nice happy medium that we can make. And this is not the newest version of it either. Matt has another version that we can bring into play. Like you can see, like pieces of it ended up here and didn't need to. But I am excited for when we get to show that off. I figure since we're here, let's go into Japel Brae again. And while that's loading, let me see if I can find his ruins trail again. So I feel like that's a good indicator of like what things are supposed to look like. We did like a little bit of work here, and we still need to do more. I just wanted to make sure that that was where it was supposed to go. Okay, got some corpses. All right, so we're going to do on the upper foreground, I think is what we called it. We're going to do some paths. Put on the cargo glove. Looks right. And let's mess with the opacity a little bit. We'll bring it down to like 33%. Matt has got a lot more tree cover in his, and that's what we'll probably be aiming to do, but for now we're going to just make out the paths. I feel like what we'll do is, well, I guess I already started. We're going to have a path that's going that way, and then we'll have another one that's going up this way. And then we've got the main path, obviously. So let's bring it back down a little bit lower. Yeah. Do one or two more passes, and then we're going to do the green outside of things. And I might blend it in with a little bit more gray as well. Okay, got that a little bit there. And the one thing that we're kind of lacking in this map so far is a lot of height. Like, yes, you see this is kind of like descending a little bit. I might do maybe a little bit more in the water so that it's not just a flat, you know, thing there. And then maybe what we'll do is add some cliffs up here too. Actually, that's perfect, I think. Let's go grab our gray again, and let's blend some of this back in. Okay, and let's go to our line tool, and we're going to use some cliffs. So I like 30. 30 is my magic number. Let's see if I'm starting up here, if it's the right shape. Or the right angle, I should say. And it's not, but that's an easy fix. Let's actually make it a little bit bigger. Okay, and then we're going to do something similar over on this side. And that one has to unflip because we were going the other way. And let's see. So we've got to go kind of like a darker brown up there too. So let's go back to the upper foreground. Let's go to into here, and let's see if we can't find what we're looking for. I'm looking for like a muddy. Let's see. I got an idea. Just got to find it. So we're going to go with this. And we're just going to change the color palette. So let's go to advanced settings. There we go. That's a little too red. Let's fine tune it a little bit. And mess with the saturation some. And let's mess with the placement a little bit too. I like, again, a texture scale of 30 I feel like is a good starting spot. Now the opacity is low, so we should be able to get kind of like a muddy look up here. Oh, it would help if, there we go. And we still got to do a lot with the trees and stuff like that, but we'll get to that in a minute. Notice that I'm leaving kind of like the edges a little bit. So I feel like I'll kind of suggest that this here has a lot more water when it comes through. Oh, you know what? Did we change the size of that too? No, we didn't. And that's fine. Cover that once or twice. More. Okay, and then let's go to our line tool one more time. Use our cliffs, and this time let's go up to 65. Maybe we'll do it a little bit bigger. Okay, and then same thing over here. We'll start over here this time. And I do know that I'm probably going to have to move that tree. Let's go into... Come on. Let me go to the nodes real quick. So you'll see it's kind of right there alongside the brown muddy look. Let's move the tree up here. Okay, that's the right size. So basically what we're doing here is making the lower cliffs a little bit less, you know what, actually I feel like what we can do, just trying to make new ones. So we'll do like a double layer cliff here. And on the other side we'll do this too. So it adds a little bit more height. And you know what, maybe we do it with the top layer too. We'll have to see how it looks, I guess. I'm not opposed. Keep it going over here. All right, I like it. Since we're here, let's go grab this, and we're going to do another path down here. So we got extra space to play with. Okay, one more pass over top of here with the gray. Kind of make it look like it's blending in. Still got a long way to go for this map. Definitely know that we need to do flocking, you know, like little stones and stuff. A lot of blending, but this is a good start. And then we have to figure out what our points of interest are going to be. All right, let's do another save, and we'll wrap up the show. So folks, on the screen right now, you should see all the places that you can find Tellest out there on the internet. Tellest.com is a great first place to start. It'll usually bring you to our other projects. We have 3 map sites that you can check out. Patreon.com/Tellest is where you can get all our maps really cheap. It's like $5 a month for the high-res versions, $10 a month for the variants, and it's for everything in our catalog. Tellest.etsy.com is our physical maps, but give it a little bit. We're having some fulfillment problems with our partner overseas. BattleMapFantasy.com is our drive-through RPG. That's kind of like your a la carte menu of maps, so you can get them if you only want 1 or 2 here and there. TikTok.com/@WeirdWitchWands is where you can find all the stuff that Rhianna's working on. She's putting new stuff up all the time. And then she's doing the same with our other channel, which is @Tales of Tellest, which is our Pooch channel. Luna's getting pretty popular, so definitely check that out. And then we have 2 other sites for you to check out. YouTube.com/@WorldOfTellest is where all these videos go after we're done publishing on Twitch. Twitch does knock you off the channel for each video after like 28 days or whatever it is, but you can only catch us live on twitch.tv/thattellestguy. So do be sure to check us out here on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern. It's going to wrap us up. I will see you next week, but until then, I'll miss you.